So this team, they've looked strong, but it's tough opposition.
EU for Papa.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with EU too. It's like just because. All right, at Worlds it was a very serious event. They're on vacation, and now it's actually vacation time, so they probably will take it serious and win.
Day, huh?
Yeah, it's opposite day always.
Wow. I'm going to go with GPL for Team Fire.
All right, there we go. The double disc. Well, we'll see what happens. Our All-Stars are almost ready for Champ Select, so let's send it over to the caster desk.
Thank you very much, Shocks. Stress and Sam, Kobe Hartman Kensler are now joining me on the desk for this matchup between the European LCS and the GPL squad, of course, specifically coming in from Vietnam. These guys have fought hard to get here.
I know. I mean, this is their third consecutive All-Star event. Basically, they've been at All-Stars for an incredibly long time, and they've shown it in the 1v1s, had some success there. We'll see if they can translate it onto Summoner's Rift, though. Definitely have a challenge in front of them here.
Well, let's take a chance now to look at the starting lineups, beginning with the EU All-Stars from Team Ice. Coming into the top lane, it's Soaz, Jungle Jankos, mid Xpeke, AD carry Reckless, and support Mithy.
Well, they got a lot of support from, the Peke chants all throughout the crowd. We'll see whether the representatives of the GPL from Team Fire can garner a bit of support in this game. In the top lane, it's QTV. In the jungle is Levi. In the mid lane is Optimus. AD carries Celebrity with support Ron OP.
And the first thing about their loss yesterday, to me that stood out, were kind of the losing lanes. And Shen up in the top side, where everybody that's been really try-harding has been, Poppy, Nautilus, or Maokai up there to abuse Courage of the Colossus, and Shen can use it. But I would like to see GPL just go for super strong winning lanes right out of the gate, and that really does open your jungler up. That analyst asked, they were talking about Levi, so maybe you can make some happen.
And that was one of our biggest thoughts during IWCA, was that QTV, while of course everybody's going to be comfortable on the Maokai, on the tanks, he just seemed like one step behind a lot of the other top laners when it came to his decision-making on engages, how he was playing the lane, and when he was using the teleport. So that's what I want to see the GPL squad kind of shore up.
And of course, Soaz similarly having a rough day yesterday, playing well in the laning phase, but getting caught out time and time again. So going to be curious to see where these bans go. If the top lane is the center of attention, or if it's going to be all in the mid lane for the Optimus x Peke matchup.
I mean, maybe they first pick in Poppy this time around, because Poppy is queen up there with Kurt. Ah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Right, banned off the board. Caster Curse.
One pick that we haven't really seen taken away, but is now in this game, is Elise. We've seen some presence on Lee Sin coming out of the jungle, but this is the first time we're really seeing the Elise bans here at All-Star, so pressure on Levi.
Yeah, I mean, Elise bans are definitely target bans or a throwaway ban, because there are so many good junglers right now, and she's not even at the top of the list, so definitely a lot of options still left open. I'm sad to see Lee Sin off the table, because that was one of Jankos' best performing champions.
This is a big moment, though, right, because if the GPL leave Rek'Sai available and one mid laner, the EU LCS can only really pick one of them and the other goes over. So either they leave two strong mid laners up and Rek'Sai and they take a 2-for-1 trade, or they just kind of outplay themselves and give the EU LCS one strong pick and can't really answer with it.
Seconds away from that final ban. EU must be pretty confident in their first pick. You can see Yanko smiling on the screen. It will be Rengar taken away. Interestingly enough, Reignover showing the power of that champion yesterday.
So LeBlanc is still up here. Talking about power, one of the most powerful assassins after the real. All right, there we go. No hesitation. And I'm assuming that's going to go to Peke.
But there's three big picks that we look at. Rek'Sai, Nautilus, and Ryze. The Ryze doesn't have to be rushed here, so the GPL squad could look to pick up those three. We have seen a bunch of Graves, but at IWCA, Rek'Sai really was queen out of the jungle when you weren't looking for those, trades all the way through. We've seen a little bit more action out of junglers here at All-Star.
Something Mithy talked about, Rek'Sai much better in environments where teams aren't as unified. You get the free brush check, the free tremor sense, that reliable pseudo-free vision, making it much easier to make decisions as a team. But Levi, he's not about that life. He wants to do the damage.
Yep, not going to be a Courage of the Colossus there for Graves. He'll bring the damage all right, and they'll just tank that Nautilus up to the top line to provide that front line.
And at this point, that's kind of the easy way out for QTV. You're given that pick while the Poppy isn't available. So now, if Soaz wants to try and play a laning game, perhaps he'll look to just push the Nautilus back and stop him from ever getting tanky enough, but that's a risky strat.
And you know what? Something that has emerged in the last couple of months that's super strong at shoving in is the Nasus with Emax, a different flavor up there for the top lane rather than trying to get a bunch of stacks. One of my favorites is the AP Shaco, but generally you want to play that against more squishy lineups, and already looking at the Nautilus, probably won't be the case. Jankos looking to mount up here, though.
And of course, playing with our hearts, he spoke briefly yesterday, I believe, off broadcast about. He's like, I think Twitch is really good in the jungle. We might get a chance to play him in the jungle, hovering over.
And then I'll get the rest of you ahead along with me. So looking for a little bit more damage, a little bit more engage coming out here, giving them that tool with the Onslaught of Shadows.
A lot of Wombo comp potential. Now we have to wonder, Reckless and Mythy struggled a little bit yesterday, had a strong early lane, but what are they going to pick up here?
Yeah, I mean, they are hovering over the Caitlyn, which is extremely powerful right now because we talk about winning lanes and wanting to work off of early pressure, and that definitely would do a lot towards that area of the map. I have to say, though, one of the concerns I had for the GPL was their AD carry, and especially since now he's facing LeBlanc, Hecarim, and Kennen. A lot of dive towards the backline, so looks like if he picks something low mobility like Ashe or Jhin again, and he could be the target. The Janna would have been a good option. I always like Janna counterpicking Kennen, one of those really old counter picks that has been there over the years, but Alistar technically can headbutt him out as well.
And this is starting to look like a very tanky lineup for the GPL, utilizing multiple instances of Courage of the Colossus, and there is always the risk with this EU style where you've got a LeBlanc, you've got a less tanky top lane champion, and a jungler that wants to snowball. If that doesn't start to happen in those roles all at the same time, it can become a game where the GPL outlast if they can bring some later game damage from their mid lane.
I think that is key. I think that's a good point because Graves is one of those outlasting junglers, right? He's not going to have the super high impact ganks early on, is definitely looking to farm and clear out and try and get those levels stacked up, whereas Hecarim has the options. I generally will always consider Hecarim wanting to do a full clear for the first one with the blue buff because you really want to make the most of your first blue buff. Very mana intensive jungler, but he has options, especially with Ghost. You can go for early ganks if they're really ripe and they're really presenting themselves.
Of course, Ice really taking their time on this final rotation. Not sure what they want to grab. We have to remember Zyra up and available. Powerhouse in the early lane.
Ooh.
You don't play with my heart.
Is it? It's locked. It's locked.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
what we want. Reckless made his name in Season 3 playing Vayne, and we get to see it at All-Star.
And I've been hearing a lot of talk about how Reckless, after the first showing there for Team Ice, really buckled down, and he was very intense about practicing a bunch of 1v1s, getting ready for today and trying very hard. I mean, all the teams actually have come to these regional games with a very try-hard mentality. I'm so excited to see this Vayne because he has been a menace in solo queue, and he's going to have the Janna to try and help him through that laning phase.
We saw one Vayne go completely off in IWCA, just go to like 11-0, two-shot everybody. No way of standing up.
But we do have to remember that Vayne did get 3 kills in succession in the first 10 minutes of the game. So I don't know if it's going to be the same story. Stress, I want to see it too, but it's so vulnerable early on.
It's a possibility because Hecarim can do that classic red buff Krugs into 2.5-minute gank. We shall see, though. What's going to be the mid laner?
Well, there's the late game damage and the Wombo combo. This is a strong team fight setup that's coming out of the GPL. If somebody's out of position, the arrow comes through, Alistar goes in, or the Nautilus, and brings the ball, and suddenly everybody's lost their health.
Yeah,
Both teams looking like they have a lot of power here. The Wombo combo you talk about, I think most terrifying for Reckless here is that depth charge from Nautilus. The unavoidable, undodgeable CC. Yes, Nautilus can't take Vayne out his own, but he hits that Vayne once, locks her down once, and she's going to get popped like it's nothing.
Definitely true. I mean, all these guys are also going to have to watch out for that Ashe arrow. So there's a chain of events that can go in GPL's favor. This EU team, though, looks like it's very good at scattering, right? LeBlanc can create a lot of chaos. Kennen can control a huge zone, and then allows Reckless to make use of repeat invisibility tumbles.
This is the most ridiculous team out of Europe. They have 4 roles and 4 champions that are just wanting to carry at all times.
This is a race. Who can carry hardest?
I mean, Peke showed it to us yesterday. Maybe Peke's going to be the carry again, but Reckless is clear like, it's my turn. You had your chance on Ari yesterday. We didn't do it. We didn't pull out the win. Not going to get a chance today. Maybe he will. LeBlanc, pretty good champion to do it on. But of course, this is your chance. Head on over to Twitter. Vote at LOL Esports. Hashtag IceWin. If you think the Vayne can come out on top, or hashtag FireWin. I think the GPL can close this one out with confidence.
Whew, I'm excited to see the Vayne. Been a long time since we've seen Reckless on Vayne. Of course, the changes recently made it that Vayne Janna is exceptionally strong once you get past the very early points in the game. So I'm excited.
Did get nerfed on 624. Does that mean she's OP on 623?
Normally that's what it means.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Third match of the day, EU versus the GPL. Team Ice already well on the way out, looking for some early plays.
And to focus more on this bottom lane, this is a matchup that specifically I asked Mithy about during IWCA, about Vayne into Alistair, because I was thinking, well, you're just going to get Q-flashed, surely. And he said, well, with the changes to Alistair, you now have to walk past the champions, so unless you can flash all the way past them, it's impossible to headbutt and punish them, so you end up the other side of Vayne in between two people. And with the Janna, any kind of crowd control to deny the Alistair the way in makes it almost impossible for him to engage reliably. So this is why this Vayne Janna has been picked into the Alistair.
Yeah, and there's so much potential for outplay with the Vayne, and you always like to highlight these big, 1v2 and 1v3 even sometimes possible plays.
Oh, nice.
All right.
He doesn't even need it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
He's
a little
that
gimmick.
confident. The crowd cheers for Peke.
By the way,
cheers or cheer?
D is for dance, Stress.
It's definitely cheers. And this time he's not running teleport, the classic Peke. He's bringing the ignite for the kill in lane.
See this brand. I mean, there's just,
There we go.
if you're watching from home, you cannot appreciate the sheer magnitude of Peke fans in the crowd right now. Spanish loyalty at its finest. See now Team Ice starting. Very standard blue buff early for the Hecarim. Similar story for Graves on the bottom side.
Which means we're not seeing the red Brugs 2-minute 30 gank that we were looking for, Kobe. Maybe getting them ahead, but we'll see how they do in lane on their own.
Yeah, I mean, that has been the most talked about strategy after the changes. It's become that everybody kind of expects it on the bottom side nowadays. And like I said, using the first blue buff to a maximum effect for Hecarim, full clear is not a bad option. This is a very, very high percentage chance of success if you just power clear the entire jungle, then you come out with your level 4 and go for the ganks that way.
And you can see the punish already coming through. Mithy puts the shield on Reckless. Reckless goes forward to Celebrity because with Ron OP only being level 1, he cannot even combo on towards him. Like, even with a Q flash, there's nothing more to be done in this setting. So, wait, really?
Flash replay!
Oh, he dodged everything. Nothing hit him.
That was foreshadowing. I mean, he's setting up the mind game flashes into a brush to juke people out. Once you get close to the wall and flashing backwards into the brush instead.
We saw it at IWCA. We'll see it here now in ASE as well. And he's getting a little cheeky. Going into the jungle here, spotting out Levi.
I like it. Peke calling his shots. And actually, yeah, you talk about the circle around to the top for Hecarim here.
QTV's pushed up.
Stun gonna connect. In with the Hecarim. He wants to get it. It should be first blood, but QTV gets a big shield here. Graves on the way up. It's too little too late. Yanko's picking up first blood for Team Ice.
And yesterday we were looking for some big early moves from Yankos. Didn't quite come through with them. But here we go. Talk about the mind games. Oh, everybody's expecting the red into Krug's early gank. Ha! Do it on blue side, and he is rewarded. Plus, since Graves cleared bottom to top, he can't punish and go to steal away the red side jungle.
DP's here, though.
They can't punish Soaz.
That's a big wave, and that's going to be one dead Kennen. QTV trading back.
Just a little too low on the health, stuck around while the TP was channeling and couldn't dodge out the hook. Soaz giving Yankos the way out there. Peke were going aggressive in the middle lane. Optimus has already burned through all of his mana already.
And Soaz is one of those guys that has such a long history of escaping ganks on the top side.
No, Soaz.
And repeat. Levi going in. Red buff down. Nautilus hook. Are they going to... Nope. Backing off. Meanwhile, the rest of the lane's playing suspended. Oh, that was a great tornado from Mithy.
Definitely, too. You expect that for a top-tier player. Rondo Pivo goes in with the flash.
Look at it. He can't clear the distance enough.
Not going to be able to go forward. Reckless still trading back, and it's not going to be much in the end, but so close to the potential knock under the tower. Peke, though, has now overstayed his welcome in the mid lane. Levy proccing the red buff. Peke set to fall.
Great patience there, and they punish him as soon as he goes in for the distortion. One of the other changes, the only kind of downside to the new LeBlanc is you don't have that old passive where you go invisible and then you have to make him guess which one and have a higher chance of escaping. They do punish him there, kill Peke, and he doesn't have teleport like we said to get back to him.
There was some other guesswork going on there by Levi and Optimus. Where's the flash? When's he gonna flash? How's he gonna flash? Bacon.
True.
Now they're
They're
going to
never gonna know.
True.
They're never gonna know. They're just gonna think he saved it for some reason.
Exactly. They're like, oh, you know, he was resigned to his death, so he saved it for next time. Won't get repeat gank now.
So patient, Peke. How does he do it?
It actually pays off. Wow, repeat gank's not coming.
Talking about repeat ganks, though, QTV, again the focus.
Jankos may try to delay the back here.
I mean, if I were QTV, I would have called his bluff and just stood there, because if Jankos goes in...
I mean, there's no help going
I
to
know,
arrive
but-
for him here. So
but-
QTV is
Oriana's
no
on the way up.
minions.
Oriana's on the way up. Optimus only level 5 though. QTV gonna have to try
Away.
some fancy footwork. In goes the Hecarim. Challenging Smite drops. Soaz grabs another one. Too little too late from the mid laner. Not gonna make it in time.
I just look at that and like, okay, it's a little too late for QTV to stay alive on his own, but what was Jankos going to do? Go under the turret with no minions around to tank and Soaz not there for the rest of the damage? I think QTV, with staggering blows, a hook, his shield, may very well have stayed alive in that situation and dead Jankos, or he just keeps recoiling out and Jankos can't stop him.
Look, they see it's pretty rough, but
I just mean like, QTV,
I feel like you're taking
You're-
that optimistic top laner approach, and I like it. But it's not going to work out for him, and Jankos not playing around today. Pretty hard with that top lane camp, and he'll be up to a pretty quick Trinity Force as well. Generally, you'll get the red smite just for the the combat power there, and then switch over right away to the Trinity Force build. And once you get that, it's off to the races.
Of course, interestingly enough, bottom lane going in the favor of Team Ice. Reckless kind of commanding these trades in so many ways. Ron OP waiting, looking for an attempt to all-in, but not finding it yet. You can see 57 to 52 farm. Ashe will even it up, but Vayne kind of expect her to fall behind so much in these early games.
Oh, in the mid lane, setting it up
Chain.
with the chain.
Not going to get it. Flash out from Optimus.
We were actually having... oh, never mind. Let's wait for this counter jungler to go off first.
Okay, Kobe, I don't think they're going to kill each other yet.
But it's over the small raptors.
Soaz fighting over the creep wave as Nautilus is ready to contest. Does burn his ult in the end. Oh, Levi gets it.
He wins the
There's
trade in
the
jungle.
golf clap.
The golf clap.
all around.
It's
Well
the
done,
little
well done.
victories.
Got the large chicken.
Jankos letting us know she's proud of that moment.
I mean, Levi is doing what, the Graves path there. He's up a level on the Hecarim, so, not falling too far behind. Did have the successful gank mid as well, so not too shabby there for him.
Now I'm interested to see whether Peke uses his clone. We saw this earlier out from Maple, that he used the second part of the ultimate elsewhere on the map to fake a roam while he was going over for blue buff, which, is something that I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more out of the LeBlanc players, just having people guess where you are when you drop out of the lane. But this time, not the case. Interesting mechanics that I'm looking forward to seeing more LeBlanc players use.
Keep our eyes on it. Of course, Optimus, no stranger to the LeBlanc, however, did bust it out to qualify for this tournament. So we have to think that he may know how these combos are going to play out, that he may be able to outplay here in some of these trades.
And goes with that red timer, goes in for the red steal. Meanwhile, you see on the minimap the little bit of backup there that Levi was going to give to Optimus when he was going to fight Peke in the river. But because of that, not going to be anywhere near the top side to protect his red. Jankos gets it and gets out.
Good response from Jankos. Peke, though, still getting aggressive. Ooh, not going to get it. Peke does make it out in the end. Collateral damage, not enough.
NT. Good try there for Levi, but not going to catch Peke this time around.
Yeah, Sombrero not really effective against LeBlanc, one of the more difficult champions to lock down. Despite adding that extra second that she has to stick around before she can take the W back, still well before the time that Optimus ult would have closed. So I'm interested to see how Optimus can kind of hold on in this middle lane and if they can keep up with Peke when he starts roaming around the map.
Yeah, Orion, not too shabby towards the late game, does scale very well. So Optimus doing just fine at the moment. We shall see though, because I'm waiting for some bottom lane action. Ashe has hit level 6. The CC available to this GPL bottom lane is really, really good setup for something like a top lane teleport. Nautilus is very high impact as soon as he joins down. And Optimus actually with the roam.
Something in mind as well. Maybe look for the bot lane play, but he gets caught in transit, and Optimus now set to fall. Peke gonna grab one, but the TPs are here. Nautilus not overstaying his welcome, instantly makes his way out.
Pretty dangerous roam there, and looks like Team Fire going to get chased out of the jungle here altogether. Now they have numbers on the bottom side of the map. See if they actually establish any more control.
Kobe, you asked for a bot lane play. Optimus was on the same page.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
okay.
Team Ice not gonna have it. You're leaving the Vayne alone. And it looks like it's working out well so far. Of course, fell behind for a little bit there, but is now evened up in the CS department.
Evened up, and we've been hearing so much about Vayne in solo queue. You get yourself the BF sword, then go attack speed item, a lot of that upfront damage on those first couple of hits. I want to see how that actually ends up playing out now for Reckless. We've seen it a handful of times in competitive, and it really does take the game over if you don't put the Vayne behind significantly. So EU are in a decent position for that.
Peke just going to double dash on out of that. Not accepting the risk of the depth charge. Alt traded for alt, but looks like it's in favor of Peke here.
Yeah, definitely in favor of Team Ice right there, I think, because of the low cooldown. Plus, because now there's a Flash Cannon ultimate available with no answer from QTV. They don't have that extra CC from the Nautilus. And as we said, Soaz is going to be one of the big divers towards the back line for Team Ice, especially once that Proto Belt does get completed. Trying to get to that pretty quickly here.
Misses the shuriken on the trade, so not able to lock up QTV, but still pressuring out here. You can see the massive CS differential between these two players, and it's only going to get harder for QTV as they move forward.
Surely, though, the decision-making now is you're talking about the depth charge. I completely agree with this as an option not to stop Soaz. It's difficult for him to decide because if Vayne starts snowballing, if Kennen starts snowballing, if LeBlanc starts snowballing, one of these champions, you can only pick one of the three. Who are you going to depth charge?
Gonna wish you had it, so that you at least stick to use it on somebody. But 50% left on the cooldown, and I think they're gonna give up some ground here. Jankos going in for that deep vision coverage, combining with Mithy for the blast plant escape.
Making their way out. Mithy making his way back into the bottom lane to keep Reckless safe and healthy as Ron, OP, and Celebrity back out. But Peke and Jankos are back in the mid lane. Maybe looking for a little bit of play, but Graves is waiting in the wings. Gets spotted out, and immediately Peke retreats.
Speaking of Mithy, we can commend him for a better performance today than yesterday, losing in the 1v1 and having a really rough game on the Zyra. So I know he took that hard. I wonder whether he was along with Reckless tryharding the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the vision control as well. One of the big criticisms for Team Ice yesterday was the team play. They talked about themselves. Mithy was kind of disappointed in their late game strategy. All the different players had different ideas for what the team plan was, and it didn't really come together. This time around, they have a lot more information to work with, and we'll see if they can actually make that work on the bottom side, because so many of those wards have been set up for this bottom play that we keep on hyping up or waiting to bring to fruition.
And of course, Soaz now continuing to pressure on the top side, but you mentioned it. It's maybe hard to have that team play with so many leadership members of the team. Peke leading Origin, so often subbed in as the AD carry because of his ability to shot call. Mithy, big caller coming in for G2, maybe butting heads on the authority level, but it looks much cleaner today.
We've got a kind of uncharacteristic thing happening on the left with the Rift right now. Soaz is so far ahead, he's nearly at first turret flood, and he's pushing up with the next wave. Very rare that it's a turret other than bot lane that gets taken down.
Jankos, surprise Optimus, not at all the party he wanted, just wants to lay down a ward, and he'll get the ward, but I don't know if he's going to be able to escape here. Running along the wall, but Levy there to back him up.
Does save his flash still? No! Peke will make him blow it.
Ooh.
Great patience coming in from Optimus at the end there, but Ron OP caught between a rock and a hard place, knocked down into the wall, burn the unbreakable. Was hungry for more. Not going to get anything else out of Peke. Oh, he wants a party, but he's not going to get what he wants. Not going to be able to jump out at all as Levy grabs that one.
Great combo there from Team Fire, but remember, they still already sent Optimus back to base. So not much, chase potential there, and they are going to be able to at least defend their blue buff there after punishing Xpeke.
And we were talking about the top tower. We were talking about how this bottom lane action was playing out as well. That tower did go down in favor for the European All-Stars, so they do extend their gold lead a little bit more, but Peke going that aggressive over the wall, perhaps a bit of a death wish for him, not really respecting Celebrity's arrow that eventually comes out. Peke just tries to go aggressive and point blank eats the arrow after a good combo.
It's just a great, flash play there from Ron OP. Flash combo, boom, sets it up for the arrow, not able to get out of that stun. And 100% to, or maybe it was about 70% to 0 for the execution there.
But saw Peke walking back and forth, not sure if he wanted to stay there. Caught out now, but they're in trouble. No unbreakable will available for Ron OP quite yet. Reckless wants it. That was a sick play. Reckless taking down Ron OP. Moving in on Celebrity, and this man is hungry for blood. He's not done yet. Moving forward, but in goes Celebrity. 50, has he overstayed his welcome? Soaz on the way as well. Celebrity wants one more, but the Nautilus is here too. Depth charge goes down, but Mithy is going to stay up as Soaz backs off.
Exciting play there. We talk about, oh yeah, the outplay potential from Vayne, you know, and buffering that condemn for the headbutts. He had that perfectly and does get the kill, but then, you know, overestimating their 2v1 ability against Celebrity. Does go down in the process, so as can clean everything up though.
And this is how it started. We're looking just at that condemn again. Look at the damage that comes out from the Vayne already.
Yeah, and what you can do is just keep spamming the condemn while he's just out of range and then canceling it into an auto, then continue spamming it so that when he does finally cast the headbutt, it automatically will go off and he is able to knock him back. But then Celebrity with the activated Ash Q right there takes him out and chases him with the flash.
And it looks like Reckless wasn't quite expecting the flash to come out of Celebrity because Reckless still had his, so he could have extended a little bit more of that distance and chose not to, wasn't quite in, you know, a ranged reaction flash since he was so low. So Reckless ends up dying, keeps the flash, but eventually, you know, the top laners came in with the teleports. It ended up being cleaned up.
At the end of the day, just that 1-for-1 back and forth trade, or 2-for-1 rather, traded back and forth. Dragon now set to fall as Pecky taking a lot of tower damage here. There to back him up, and Mountain Drake looks to be going over in the favor of Team Fire. And GPL falling behind in gold, but taking these objectives, taking control on the back end of that play.
And that was one of the characteristics that the wildcard teams a lot in IWCA would fall prey to was...
Pecky overstays his welcome. He's going to get the fancy footwork out.
Yeah, they were trying to set up a play where they dive mid lane, but if Pekka can't push him into the turret, then Jankos and everyone sitting behind this turret.
Oh, they want
it.
it. Meteor goes in, knocked back. Reckless wants another kill. Are they going to give it to him?
The delayed trigger on the mid lane dive play we were talking about. And Peke with the long con on the bait there sacrifices most of his health to draw Optimus out from the turret.
I like the positivity. The
there's
Lara.
Lara.
Oh. Not going to connect.
Peke even managed to avoid dying to Levi's collateral damage as well. That came straight through at the end as well. So Peke seems to be, you know, the man on a mission escaping in this game. Taking a page out of Bjergsen's book from yesterday.
And remember, you know, let's take a look at the compositions and what this EU victory would look like since they are winning right now. They're going to be about that team fight where they can try and flank around, you know, get the dive with all the spread out damage that they can have with the 4 damage dealers we set up, trying to attack from multiple directions, whereas GPL, they want a solid team fight with the Nautilus and Alistar right in front of them to try and deny exactly that.
And that's really going to have to come from their vision control. Forcing Europe to come into areas where they haven't got wards available and suddenly out comes Ron OP from the darkness. It's going to be very rare that they're going to just be able to walk towards Europe and kill them in 5v5.
Flash over the wall. He's set to pop. Optimus grabs a kill in the mid lane.
Another play being set up here, Ron OP.
Soaz, not going to get knocked back to the team, is going to make his way out. The stun on the auto is going to get it, knocks him back. Levy looking to put down the damage. There is the ult. Can he escape? That's a lot of damage. Proto Belt is not up. Moving out, wants to make it to safety, so also the fancy footwork.
Looks like he's going to get out of this one.
The cow's coming back. Stun will be up soon.
Got
Ron OP. A little bit more blood. Oh, kill for the bloodthirsty support.
Nice dunk, and actually back-to-back plays set up there for the GPL. They're clawing their way back into this one.
Yeah, they're getting the picks. They're just, you know, 2v1ing as much as they can. The problem is Mythy and Reckless have been on the bottom side, getting another turret down for the European LCS All-Stars. And I mean, eventually that's going to grind down the GPL if they don't really assess this situation and shut Reckless out, because he's quietly farming himself up on kills, on CS, and is becoming very strong.
Almost a 20 CS lead. Oh, Optimus is just going to get popped. Reckless picks up another kill, and this is kind of what you talked about, Kobe. There are so many damage threats up and available on this team. If you ignore even one, coming out of nowhere.
And exactly like he was talking about, towers going down open up more space for Europe to work with and try and get those picks.
It's Peke playing with fate a little bit there, teasing the Nautilus, baiting out the hook. Now going to pick up this blue buff as well. Europe absolutely in control of this game. You talked about needing to find windows and vision, but Europe have been so diligent this game about laying down the necessary vision.
Definitely true. We'll see if you know, Team Fire can use the Ash Arrow and set up one of those more controlled team fights that we're talking about. But as of right now, Team Ice doing a good job of having that scattered gameplay as well.
One tower that remains that is critical for the GPL squad is that mid-outer tower. Normally it's fairly difficult to break down. You'd see Optimus go to the mid lane, wave clear it. they've just got to be careful that Jankos doesn't come around the side. If somebody from the GPL is in a side lane out of position and isn't able to react in time, if that Orianna dies, that tower is going, and LeBlanc suddenly gets so much more freedom in the jungle like you were talking about, Kobe.
Yeah, the towers are kind of snowballing because even though GPL haven't taken a single tower yet, they do have that Mountain Drake, and they could collect a lot of gold pretty quickly if they get the momentum, if they get another one of those picks. The only problem is they got a couple picks, weren't able to turn any of that into any objectives because Team Ice, the European squad, they are doing a good job of controlling those minions.
Not just that, but also controlling pretty much everything across the map. 34.9k to 31 point through. Soaz with a massive CS lead. In addition to that, now completed Zhonya's Hourglass.
And that's so key because suddenly the depth charge no longer a real option for QTV to put on Soaz to force him out of the fight, because as long as Soaz has Flash Proto Belt, who's already in, Zhonya's the depth charge and the damage is down.
And the threats are just stacking up. Not only is the Zhonya's done, but Reckless has his Infinity
It
Edge.
knocks him to the wall, but the Graves is coming. Is there enough damage? Minty may try to disengage the fight. They're fighting him one at a time. They ignore the Nautilus. They turn for the Graves, and they're going to grab him. Reckless looking for the montage moment here, but is going to have to back off.
Infinity Edge static shield plus
this is not
mana
enough.
shields.
Just going for more, Kobe.
Does get the ultimate out of Alistar, but that will take a long time to chop him down.
And it's going to be push the bottom lane, move to the mid lane because Optimus is in the top lane trying to get top tower. Oh, they're going to
repeat.
Oh, they got the arrow.
Walk him up under the tower. Mithy with a nice disengage. Third proc.
Yeah, QTV had to clear out the minions there.
Oh! Static ship, boys. Popping him up, knocking him down, and Alistair just delivers himself to the Vayne buffet.
Yeah, I believe that was like the third proc on the True Silver plus a crit. That's just,
That was everything.
That's the Vayne burst talking about. Just 2 items, all he needs, running straight through the bottom lane now.
They take the bot inner, they're pushing up to the inhibitor tower. Look, the damage is so significant. Jankos has gone damage build as well.
Optimus is back, but I don't know if he's going to get here in time. They're breaking. Will they go for the inhibitor as well? Optimus finally returns to the base. QTV in a little frisky, looking for the gank, but Reckless is untouched, and inhibitor's going to drop in favor of EU. They're just going to make a hasty retreat.
They keep up the pressure. Now they're timing their back with this extra Infernal Drake. That's going to add to this 4 damage dealing, 4 damage build squad that they have, and just it's going to be out of control here. They can continue to split up the map as well and poke at GPL from different sides.
Europe just got a ridiculous amount of gold in the last 2 minutes. They took 3 towers, a handful of kills. Now they've picked up a dragon to kind of augment this power already.
Oh,
Peke.
Old habits die hard. Maybe not. No. Celebrity going to grab the kill in the end.
Playing hot potato with Peke there. Alistar passed over to Nautilus into the Ash for the last kill.
Depth charge comes out, but does not connect. QTV gets the cooldown back, and Peke does drop. 1-4-1 the scoreline for Peke, but doesn't matter this time around. Jankos 2-0-4, setting the pace for the team in the early game, and Reckless and Soaz more than happy to keep it going.
Whips the ball. Jankos forced to ult to get himself away. The turret does go down, so a little bit of a recovery of sorts for GPL. They still have a long road back, though. This is so heavily EU favored.
Yeah, definitely necessary for EU to see that mid turret. They want to keep it split up, like we talked about. Vayne up on the top side, split pushing. Reckless is feeling very confident in his ability to fight off any attackers in that side. And so, as of course, with the teleport down bottom, completing their spread strategy.
And Mithy's ready. He's ready for the long-range supporting on Janna. He's got redemption. Doesn't even matter if he throws himself out first to die. It's the name of the game.
It feels like the perfect item, given his performance yesterday.
Ouch.
Meanwhile, 0 deaths, 007 here.
I know.
Secret Agent Mithy, you guys are just holding yesterday. You're living in the past.
It's true.
All his troubles were so far.
And well, Reckless now, coming in, has 36% of his team's damage this game. The man solo killing anyone and everyone he finds. And Mithy, of course, there to back him up. You can throw shade for yesterday, but today you guys are right. He is absolutely crushing it. And now they're going to look to crush Levy, although it's not going to be so easy. Now looking for the disengage, and the siege just continues. On the backside, Soaz is here. Peke is trying to keep out Optimus. Down goes the redemption. In goes Soaz. 3 almost locked up. Levy overstays for just a little bit, but will make it out in the end. QTV caught between enemy lines, does not want to go any further. And Reckless, unconcerned with the tower as Mythy tanks it out flawlessly. QGB, the true Silver Bolts are just too much damage. Mythy keeps the ball rolling, and Reckless grabs yet another one.
Yeah, even with Vayne chunking away on him, takes a while to go down, but great flank there from Europe, and they're able to close this one, push in another inhibitor turret.
Pushing down another. This is going to be his second inhib of the game. Reckless just tallied up his 600th kill. So, you know, impressive game.
Another round of golf.
Another
There
golf.
you go. Well done. Well done.
Good
Yeah.
Sorry,
pickup.
I'm being
I like the
told
golf
it was
claps.
300th kill.
300th kill.
I think that was in 2016. I was
What?
disgusted.
Wait, what did you say? 300 is very different from 600.
All right, we'll figure it out later, because this is a time for action, as made clear by EU going absolutely ham in this fight. And then, as mentioned, press, there it is. So as dodging out the ultimate with the use of that Zanya's. And now, I mean, what options are left here for the side of the GPL? What can they do to come back in the game where there's so many strong members on the
I'm
side
a
of
big
Team
fan of everybody group up, try and nail one person with the Ash Arrow, and just get your 5-man roaming squad. Maybe you can, you know, start picking people off. But it's definitely a Hail Mary attempt at the moment for GPL.
I've had it clarified.
Got it. Nice.
I've
nice.
got the
All right,
actual-
what
what
do you
right
got
now.
for us?
300th kill of 2016.
Nice.
There we go.
Synergy. Moving forward, Reckless looking for his 301st kill. Maybe hoping to take that away. Mythy hungry for a little bit of blood here, but Fire are backing off. They are grouped though. Maybe this is their Hail Mary moment. The arrow is available. The Shockwave up and available as well. Ice prowling around the jungle, not looking to give an opportunity to fire.
Yeah, the minions doing a lot of work on the GPL base as well. They're going to need to dedicate someone to stand back and clear those out unless they lose their other one. Oh no, the Baron's going to have to be forfeit.
Not what they wanted. Reckless just does so much damage, and Yanko's more than happy to tank it out there as they pick up the Baron. Infernal Drake backing them up as well. An 11K gold lead. Make it nigh impossible for Fire to come back, but they have the tools.
This game feels like the opposite game to yesterday, where, you know, everybody we were looking at being like, okay, these guys are probably going to be the primary carries. We're not sure how Peke is going to do. It feels like complete opposite land, which is good for the European fans.
You were right. You were just a day early, I think is what we wanted. The analyst test was right. They were just a little early on that one. But now Ice moving in. They could end the game here. That tower's set to fall. TP coming in. One final fight to decide it all. Mono P on the back line. There's a lot of true damage on that Vayne. I don't know if the ult is going to keep him safe. Ooh, Yankos can't be disabled if he uses the ultimate. Does leap forward. Redemption going in. Whose is it, though? It is going to be the heal up for the side of Team Fire. Yankos caught up and locked down. So as for the big play, goes forward, but the team is split up. A moment of miscommunication may give Fire a chance, but it's not enough. So as moving in, Vayne grabbing the double kill. Team Ice moving forward. Reckless.
Do it!
Oh, he gonna get it! Yes! One more for the Vayne. The shutdown in the end. A triple kill to close it out for EU and Team Ice.
We've been wondering, when would the Vayne come out? We had Double If tease us a little yesterday with one of the games, and we finally see Reckless on it, and 9-2-4. He and the rest of the European squad looking a lot better than yesterday.
Definitely agree. And one of the cool things, you know, about this whole event, what is obviously All-Stars, a lot about the fun. So coach is not allowed this year, and so obviously the teams didn't come in with a bunch of practice, but they're all such competitive people. You have to be at this level of gaming. And so once they self-organize here at the event and start super tryharding, you know, a lot more of those coordinated plays do come through.
While EU earned the victory in the end, there were still some excellent plays coming in from the GPL. The chains you see onto Peke time and time again, making sure, hey, we might not be able to take a win, but we can make sure your scoreline looks pretty bad.
Well, it was a good attempt on that. They certainly hit Peke's and Soaz a little bit, but we talked about it, 4 carries. And all 4 of them wanted to, and you could see like ended the game in a pretty decent way. Jankos had a great game as well. We were talking about how the Hecarim was a little bit more selfish for him, perhaps, than the likes of a Rek'Sai, but he made it work really well.
Yeah, I mean, the top lane camp there, repeat visits to try and punish the Nautilus, also chaining into a first turret victory for them. Pretty good snowball.
And, and it really, for me, it was so little attention paid to the bottom side of the map. Any effort made to send that attention down there just did not work out for them. And so we're watching topside. We're watching Soaz, we're watching Peke, and then 15 minutes in, we look kind of like, oh, that's a Vayne with a ton of farm who can kill literally anyone. And suddenly there's another threat on the map, and just made it so easy for Ice to close it out.
Ooh, that like 3-shot on Celebrity.
That's why Vayne gets a lot of bans in solo queue at the moment.
I mean, tons of power. As you said, the hidden power we talked about on that, especially that one kill, where it was the static ship proc, plus the crit, the infinity edge, everything coming together.
There's so many sources of big burst in Vayne right now. You're not exactly sure which ones we're combining for that last hit. Could have been any number. But yeah, as soon as the static shiv and a little bit of AD are complete, the tumbles with invisibility are doing work.
Well, now we've talked enough about this game. Let's send it over to Dash, who's standing by with the man that everyone wants to hear here in his home country, none other than Xpeke.
Definitely here with the hometown favorite in Xpeke. I mean, you can hear it already, the energy behind you. First things first, let's go ahead and respond to the cheers that you're getting here in the crowd. How does it feel to be back here in Spain, in Barcelona, with this kind of support behind you, knowing that you were voted into this?
Well, you can hear it. I love it. I love to see the support. I'm thankful for it. Really, thanks.
And I mean, and then beyond that, just as the EU LCS team being up here, does this kind of energy, push you even further in terms of strategy and wanting to win more so than maybe, having kind of those playmaking moments?
I think so. I think it's we're here for the fun mostly. And I don't know, we're all enjoying it a lot. We're all discussing what we want to play on the go. Like, yeah, I want to play this. I think it's going to be fun. And so it's motivating because we want to play good. But at the same time, it's more fun because we know the people here is just in here for that.
And now let's talk about this game here up against the GPL All-Stars. You had a lot of flashy plays in this one. So talk to me a little bit about those.
Yeah, this game was more about ending up trying stuff all the time. I think we were playing serious, but at least myself, I was just all the time trying to go in, trying to learn LeBlanc during this game. So sometimes it looked good, sometimes it didn't look so good. But yeah, it's we won in the end.
Yeah, you picked up the victory there. You also picked up a victory yesterday in the 1v1s against Aframu. And I've been asking a lot of people these questions as, the finalists from last year got knocked out. And you're moving on to round 2. What's your confidence level, as you kind of ramp back up, learn some of these new champions in making it all the way to the final and maybe hoisting the 1v1 championship here in this arena?
I mean, obviously I wasn't so confident at first about the 1v1. It's something that I was like, I don't know what to play, I don't know how it's going to go. But after seeing everyone play, I think I have a good chance of winning it as well. And like I said, the last champion got kicked out already, so.
Oh yeah, and he was hanging his head ultra low there. But finally now, once again, since we're here in Spain, I want to give you an opportunity to speak to all the fans and all of the support that you've had throughout the years of your career, not just here this evening.
Well, I could say something in Spanish. Do you hear me?
Absolutely.
Hola. Buenas. Bueno, pues nada, muchas gracias a todos por venir. La verdad es que me hacéis sentir muy orgulloso y sobre todo disfrutar mucho de España. Que cada vez que salga estéis diciendo mi nombre, la verdad es que me encanta. Muchas gracias.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Xpeke. There it is. I love to hear all of that. Now we're going to throw it back to the caster desk to hear what they have to say about that matchup.
Thank you so much. Wow.